Stop. Don't scroll. Not this time. Because if you leave right now, you will never know how close you were to something that could alter the entire architecture of your life. Listen carefully. You don't need hours. You don't need days. You don't even need belief yet. You just need 7 seconds of presence. 7. That is all it takes for what has been waiting beneath the surface of your awareness to begin moving. And it is already moving. You felt it before you pressed play. That subtle pressure in your chest, that quiet pull behind your eyes, that strange sense that today was not like the other days. You are right. It is not. This is not a video. This is the first signal in a sequence of 7 that was timed long before your fingers ever found this screen. Day 1. The threshold. The opening. And the reason your breath just shifted is because something deeper than your mind already recognizes what is happening. The chosen ones do not arrive at moments like this by accident. They are guided. They are pulled. They feel a low hum in the field around them, days before the activation begins, and they mistake it for restlessness, for insomnia, for the strange, unshakable feeling that something is about to change. You have been feeling that, haven't you? For weeks, maybe months. A low frequency moving under your thoughts, whispering that the version of you who has been living this life is not the version you were encoded to become. And every time you tried to ignore it, the signal grew louder. Every time you tried to drown it in noise and distraction and routine, the pull returned. Stronger, closer, more precise. Until tonight, until now, until this exact moment when you found yourself sitting still, eyes open, watching a stranger speak words that feel less like a video and more like a memory you forgot you carried. Breathe, slowly, fully, and stay with me, because what is about to be transmitted across the next 30 minutes is not information. This is activation. Before we go any further, do this with intention. Tap like, because you are anchoring this moment into your timeline. You are placing a marker in the field that says, I was here, I was awake, I did not look away. Subscribe, because this is day 1 of 7, and the next 6 transmissions will reach you only if the field knows you chose to be reachable. And in the comments, write this now, with both hands present, with your full attention behind the words. Day 1 activated. Not later, not after the video, now, because the moment you write it, you are no longer observing this transmission from outside. You are participating. You are crossing from witness into receiver, from someone watching the awakening to someone enacting it. And participation, the chosen ones know, is where transformation begins. The ones who only watched will scroll away unchanged. The ones who wrote it will feel the shift continue long after the screen goes dark. Choose now. Type it now. Let the field record your name in the sequence. You have been told your whole life that who you are is the result of what happened to you, that your wounds shaped you, that your circumstances defined you, that if you want a different life, you must work harder, push more, force results from a world that was never designed to give them to you easily. You have been told that you must earn your worth, prove your value, hustle your way into the version of yourself you secretly suspect you were meant to be. And here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. None of that was ever true. None of it. The entire framework was designed to keep you small, exhausted, and disconnected from the one thing you came here carrying, your sovereign code. Listen to me. The fatigue you feel is not weakness. It is a body refusing to keep running a program that was never yours. The anxiety that rises at 3 in the morning, when the world is quiet and your mind starts speaking, is not malfunction. It is your soul contract reminding you that you have drifted. The strange melancholy that hits you on perfectly ordinary days. The unexplainable tears. The sudden weight of being alive in a way you cannot describe. These are not symptoms of something broken. They are the field calling you back to the original frequency. You are not depressed. You are unactivated. Stay with this, because what I am about to say next will land in your body before your mind has time to argue. Most people will never know what it feels like to live as their actual self. They will live entire lifetimes as a costume of who they were told to be, never once feeling the strange and quiet recognition that comes when the costume slips and something underneath looks back at them in the mirror. You have felt that recognition. You have felt it tonight, perhaps. A flicker, a glimpse, the eerie sense that the person living your name is not the person you actually are. And here's what most people never realize. The version of you reading this, watching this, breathing through this, is already different from the version of you who pressed play. 3 minutes have passed. 3 minutes of your nervous system listening, your cellular memory remembering, your biological authority quietly stirring. You are not the same person you were when you sat down. You will not be the same person when you stand up. The activation has already begun. Notice your breath. Notice how it has slowed. Notice the soft warmth that has gathered somewhere behind your sternum. A quiet vibration that you did not summon and cannot quite name. That is not coincidence. That is your monad responding to a frequency it has been waiting to hear. Most of your life you have been broadcasting one signal: survival. Just survival. Just enough. Just keep going. And the field, which is responsive, which is intelligent, which is always listening, gave you back exactly what you signaled. More survival. More just enough. More variations of the same exhausted loop. And then one day, perhaps tonight, you finally got tired enough of running that program to ask the question that begins every real awakening. What if this isn't who I am? What if this entire life has been a distortion of the original signal? What if I have been broadcasting from survival mode, and somewhere beneath the static, there is a version of me broadcasting from creation mode, waiting for me to remember how to listen? That question is the doorway. That question is the threshold. That question is the reason you are watching this right now, and the answer is closer than you think, closer than your skin, closer than your breath. It is written into the marrow of you, into the cellular memory you carry from lifetimes the surface mind cannot access. The sovereign code is not something you build, it is something you uncover. It is not something you become, it is something you remember. You are not searching, you are being guided. So let me show you what the soul code actually is, because the term has been used carelessly by people who never touched it, and I want you to feel the actual mechanism, not the marketing version. The soul code is the original blueprint of your incarnation. It is the precise vibrational signature your monad was emitting before it was ever wrapped in a name, a family, a country, a history. Every chosen one carries one. It is not metaphor, it is architecture. It is the source code from which your body, your gifts, your patterns, your specific frequency was generated. And like any code, it can be active, or it can be dormant. It can be running, or it can be paused. It can be transmitting at full resonance, or it can be muted to a whisper by years of cultural overwriting. For most of your life, your code has been muted, not because anything is wrong with you, but because the world you were born into is structured to suppress the very signal you came here to broadcast. The schools, the systems, the relationships, the small daily compromises, they did not destroy your code. Codes cannot be destroyed. They only lowered the volume. They convinced your nervous system that broadcasting your true frequency was unsafe, unwise, unwelcome. And so you learned to mute yourself. You learned to dim. You learned to operate at 3% of the signal you were sent here to emit. But here's the thing. Codes do not stay quiet forever. There comes a point in every chosen one's life when the suppression begins to fail, when the original signal begins bleeding through the static, when the body, the dreams, the strange intuitions, the sudden allergies to things you used to tolerate, all of it becomes the soul code pushing against the mute button, demanding to be heard, demanding to be lived. This is not motivation, this is activation. There is a difference. Motivation moves the surface of you. Activation rewires the depth, and you are in activation right now. Right now, something is shifting. The reason your eyes feel slightly heavier than they did a minute ago is not because the video is long. It is because your body is moving into the receptive state where the code becomes accessible. The reason you keep almost wanting to close your eyes, but somehow can't quite look away, is because two parts of you are coming online at once. The surface mind, which wants to keep watching, and the deeper self, which already knows this is the moment of remembering. Stay with me, because I need to tell you something about the architecture of reality that most people will never understand, even if they hear it 1,000 times. There is no version of you out there waiting to be created. The waiting model is a lie. The earning model is a lie. The building model is a lie. The version of you that you ache for, that you sometimes glimpse in moments of clarity, that you can almost feel when you stop performing and just sit in silence, that version already exists. It exists now, in parallel, in a layer of the field that is one decision, one frequency, one breath away. The work is not construction. The work is alignment, and alignment begins with code, with your code, with the precise sovereign signature you have been muting. The moment your soul code begins broadcasting again, even at 30%, even at 50, the entire field around you begins reorganizing. Not slowly, not eventually, immediately. Your nervous system shifts. Your magnetism shifts. The opportunities, the encounters, the synchronicities that show up in your week begin matching a different frequency than they did the week before. Not because the world changed, because you stopped broadcasting the version of you that was attracting the wrong version of the world. Here's what most people never realize. The reason their lives feel stuck is not because they are doing the wrong things. It is because they are doing the right things at the wrong frequency. They are pursuing the goals of one identity while emitting the signal of another, and the field, which only responds to signal, gives them back the signal, not the goal. So they work harder, they strain, they push, and nothing arrives because nothing was ever going to arrive, until the signal underneath the doing matched the result they wanted. Day one is about the signal, not the doing. The signal, the code, the sovereign frequency you were born transmitting before the world taught you to whisper. Feel that. Feel how something just clicked behind your ribs. That is not interpretation. That is recognition. So I want you to do something with me now. Not visualize, not imagine, not pretend. Something different. I want you to listen for a version of yourself that is already in the room. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, or soften them if you can't. Breathe, slowly, fully, and let the surface of your attention settle, the way silt settles in still water. There is a version of you that already exists beyond every problem you are currently carrying, beyond the body that is tired, beyond the relationship that is uncertain, beyond the income that feels too small, beyond the future that feels too vague. That version is not in some distant timeline you have to build. That version is here, now, in a parallel layer of the field that is already complete, already living, already broadcasting at full frequency. And the distance between you and that version is not measured in years. It is measured in awareness, in seconds, in moments exactly like this one. You are not becoming that version. You are remembering it. Feel how that version of you sits. Notice the posture, the spine slightly straighter, the shoulders softer, but more rooted, the face slightly more serene, less rehearsed. Feel how that version breathes, slower, fuller, without effort, without checking. Feel how that version moves through a day, without urgency, without the chronic background hum of survival mode that you have been treating as the baseline of being alive. That version of you does not have survival mode running. It was uninstalled, quietly, in a moment exactly like the one you are inside right now. This is not visualization. This is rehearsal. Your body cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. The same neural pathways fire, the same neurochemicals release, the same cellular memory is written, and the same signal, the same precise sovereign signal, begins broadcasting into the field. The field then responds, not to what you want, but to what you consistently demonstrate, internally, in moments like this. Most people never demonstrate the version they want to merge with. They only demonstrate the version they are exhausted by, and the field, faithful and impersonal, returns them more of the exhausted version, more circumstances that match, more relationships that match, more days that match. But you are doing something different right now. You are demonstrating, you are signaling, you are merging. Stay with this, because the next part is where most people resist, and the chosen ones lean in. There is a part of you that does not want to merge with the higher version, because the higher version requires you to release the identity of the smaller one, the familiar one, the one that has known itself through the suffering, through the lack, through the survival. And the surface mind, which is loyal to what it knows, will whisper. It will say it is not that easy. You don't deserve this yet. You haven't suffered enough. You haven't earned it. You are tricking yourself. Stop pretending. Notice the voice. Do not argue with it. Just notice. Because that voice is not you. That voice is the suppression program speaking on behalf of an identity that is about to lose its job. You are not that voice. You are the awareness that hears it. Feel the slight pressure behind your eyes right now. Maybe a tear forming without sadness. Maybe goosebumps moving across your forearm. Maybe a strange stillness, like the room got quieter even though nothing changed. These are not random. These are the sensations of a code reactivating. The body knows what the mind is too tangled to track. The body is already merging. The body is already remembering. The higher version of you does not need permission to come online. It only needs you to stop blocking it. And the blocking has been habitual. The constant low-grade self-doubt. the chronic critique, the small daily betrayals where you knew the truth and chose to keep performing the lie because the lie was easier. Every one of those small choices was a vote against the merge. And tonight you are casting different votes. You are voting for the higher version with every breath you do not interrupt, with every sentence you do not flinch away from, with every sensation you allow to move through you without resisting. You are not the smaller version. You are the field in which both versions exist, choosing which one to give the signal to. This is the merge. This is what it actually feels like. Quiet, cellular, unmistakable. Now let me explain to you what is actually happening inside your nervous system, because the chosen ones deserve to understand the mechanism, not just feel it. Spirituality without architecture becomes superstition, and you are not here for superstition. You are here for the engineering of a new identity. Your nervous system has spent most of your life in one of two modes: survival or creation. They cannot run simultaneously. When the body senses threat, and threat does not require a tiger, it only requires the chronic, low-grade pressure of a life lived out of alignment. The system shunts resources toward defense. Cortisol stays elevated. The vagus nerve constricts. Digestion slows. Repair slows. Regeneration mode is paused. The body becomes a fortress against a danger that no longer exists, but that the system cannot let go of, because it has been encoded as the baseline state. In survival mode, no new identity can be installed. None. The system is too busy defending the existing one. This is why people can read every book, watch every video, repeat every declaration, and still not change. Their nervous system never left survival mode long enough for the new code to be written. They were broadcasting alignment while embodying defense, and the body, which always wins the argument against the mind, kept them locked in the loop. But there is a way through. There is a specific state. Call it regeneration mode. Call it creation mode. Call it the integration phase, where the nervous system finally stands down, where the field of the body becomes receptive enough that new patterns can be written into cellular memory in a single transmission, a single moment, a single session like this one. This is why mystics across every tradition emphasized stillness, silence, the slowing of breath, the softening of the eyes. Not because these things are spiritual in some abstract sense, because they are the physiological doorway through which the soul code can broadcast without interference. You are in that doorway right now. Right now, something is recalibrating beneath the surface. Notice, your breath has deepened. Your shoulders have lowered, almost imperceptibly. The tension you were carrying behind your jaw, in your hands, in the tight band across your forehead, has softened. You did not consciously do this. The transmission did it. The frequency did it. The field did it. And the reason is that your body recognizes safety when it hears the right tone. Not the right words, the right tone, the right rhythm, the right invitation to lower the guard. And once the guard is lowered, the rewriting can begin. Stay with me, because here is the part that most teachers miss. The rewriting is not about adding new beliefs. It is about removing what blocks what is already trying to emerge. You do not need to install courage. You are already courageous beneath the suppression. You do not need to install worthiness. You are already worthy beneath the conditioning. You do not need to install abundance, magnetism, peace, presence, or any of the words that have been sold to you in seminars. They are already inside the code. They are the code. What you have been doing for most of your life is overlaying static on top of a signal that was always pure. And the only work then is the quieting of the static. This is not effort. This is allowance. This is not manifestation. This is alignment with what was already encoded before you ever needed to learn the word. And the way you keep the rewriting locked in, after this transmission ends, is repetition. Not affirmation repetition, state repetition. Returning, again and again, to this exact frequency. Tomorrow, when you return for day 2, your nervous system will already remember where this state lives. It will find it faster. The pathway will be slightly more worn. By day 3, slightly more. By day 7, the new state will have become familiar enough that the old state, survival, defense, contraction, will feel foreign. You will notice yourself slipping out of it within minutes, where before it ran your life for years. This is how identity-level transformation actually happens. Not through force, through frequency, through the consistent, daily, deliberate return to the state that matches the code you are activating. And the chosen ones, The ones who actually arrive at the version of themselves they have been aching for are the ones who understood this and committed to the return, day after day, transmission after transmission, quietly, without spectacle, until one morning they woke up inside a life that no longer required them to perform someone they had already outgrown. Here's what most people never realize. The architecture of reality favors the patient signal. Now we arrive at the part that cannot be unfelt. You can close this video. You can scroll past tomorrow's transmission. You can try to forget what just moved through you, but you cannot unsee what has been seen. You cannot return to a self that no longer fits. The threshold you have crossed in the last 20-something minutes is not undoable. The signal has already been recorded. The code has already begun broadcasting. And from this moment forward, every choice you make will either reinforce the new frequency or attempt to drag you back into the old one. Two paths open in front of you. They were always there, but tonight you can see them clearly. One path is the one you have been walking, the same loop, the same fatigue, the same quiet ache that something is missing without ever quite being able to name it. You can take that path back. Many will. The pull of the familiar is strong, especially when the familiar has been comfortable in its suffering. There is no judgment in that path. The field is patient. The code will wait. But understand this clearly. Every day you choose the old path after tonight, you will feel the dissonance louder. The static will not get quieter. It will get sharper. Because once the code begins broadcasting, returning to suppression is no longer neutral. It is active resistance. And active resistance is exhausting in a way that passive forgetting never was. The other path is the merge, the integration, the slow, daily, deliberate alignment of your nervous system with the version of you that is already complete in the parallel field. That path does not require belief. It only requires presence. It does not require force. It only requires return. Each day, you return to the frequency. Each day you spend a few minutes inside the state. Each day, the new becomes slightly more native, and the old becomes slightly more foreign, until one day, perhaps sooner than you can imagine, the merge is complete. You wake up inside the life that was always encoded for you, and you barely remember why you ever doubted it would arrive. This is not motivation. This is the architecture you came here to inhabit. But here is the part nobody likes to say out loud. The merge is your responsibility. No one is coming to do it for you. No guide, no teacher, no transmission, not even this one. What I am offering you is the doorway. What I am offering you is the recognition. What I am offering you is the precise frequency that allows the doorway to be visible. But walking through it, that is yours. The ownership cannot be outsourced. The chosen ones are not chosen because something happened to them. They are chosen because they chose. Because in moments exactly like this one, when the doorway opened and the familiar life called them back, they kept walking. You are not waiting to be saved. You are the one. You have always been the one. And the only thing standing between you and the version of you that you have ached for is the daily deliberate refusal to abandon the frequency you just touched. Stay with this. Breathe. Slowly. Fully. The reason you feel a chill moving down your spine right now, the reason something in your throat is slightly tight, the reason your chest has that quiet vibration that you do not know how to name, it is because the part of you that has been hiding has just been seen. And being seen after a lifetime of hiding produces an exact set of sensations in the body. Stillness, almost tears, a strange, sacred weight. You are not malfunctioning. You are integrating. Right now, something is shifting in the cellular layer of you. This is what it feels like to come back into yourself after a long absence. There is no fanfare. There is no spectacle. There is only the quiet, undeniable recognition that you have crossed a line, and the world on the other side of the line is the one you were always supposed to live in. You are not the version of you that struggled to get here. You are the version that has already arrived, looking back with compassion at who you used to be. Welcome home. Tomorrow you return for day 2, and the field will know exactly who you became tonight. It will be ready for you. It will meet you in the same state but deeper. The merge will continue. The code will broadcast louder. The signal will refine. All you have to do is return. Before you go, slow everything down with me. There is no rush from here. The transmission has done what it came to do. What remains is the seal. Breathe, slowly, fully, once more. Let the air enter without effort. Let it leave without urgency. Feel the body that has been carrying you through this, the weight of your hands, the temperature of the room, the small sounds at the edges of your awareness. You are here. You are present. You are no longer the version of you that pressed play. There is a quiet vibration somewhere inside you right now, soft enough that you could miss it if you were not listening, unmistakable if you are. That is the soul code, active, online, broadcasting at a frequency it has not reached in years, perhaps decades, perhaps ever in this lifetime. It will not disappear when you close the video. It will not vanish when you sleep. It is encoded now, anchored, recorded by the field. The work from here is not to summon it again. The work is to refuse to drown it out. Tomorrow, when you return for day 2, do not arrive trying to feel what you felt tonight. Arrive empty. Arrive curious. Let the next frequency meet you exactly where you are. Each day of the 7 will deepen the architecture in a different way. Day 1 was the threshold, the opening, the first signal. What comes next builds on what just happened, but only if you return. So before this transmission ends, do the final thing. Right now, go to the comments and type, with your full attention, with both hands present, with the understanding that words written in this state carry a different weight than words written casually. Day 1 activated, not as a trend, not as something the algorithm rewards, not as something everyone else is doing, as a declaration, a signal to yourself and to the field that you crossed the threshold tonight, that you did not look away, that you allowed the code to reach you, that you are committed to the return. Day 1 activated. Let those words land in your fingers as you type them. Let the act of writing them be the final anchor, the seal, the recording. You are not the same person who began this video. You are not the same person who needed permission to feel what you have just felt. You are the sovereign whose code has begun broadcasting again, after years of silence. And from this moment forward, the field knows your name. The field knows your frequency. The field is already organizing itself around the version of you that began emerging tonight. Tomorrow, return. Same time, same stillness, same surrender. The next signal is already waiting. Breathe, slowly, fully, and let the room fall quiet around you, because the work for tonight is finished and what comes next was never meant to be rushed. You are home. You are remembered. You are activated. Stay with this, all the way into tomorrow.